Hey y'all, it is fall and that means it is time for rich, hearty soups. And one of my favorites is a loaded potato soup. Let's go see it. We are starting our loaded potato soup with half a package. So it's a 12-ounce package, so 6 ounces of bacon, and I just cut it into little pieces because I want little pieces when we're done. And I'm letting it sit over here in this skillet on relatively low heat while I'm doing some other prep work. Now I like to render bacon on pretty low heat. I think more of the fat is actually rendered and you get crispier results. So I'm going to let that sit over here while I'm working on this side. I have a nice sized stock pot right here, and I've got about a tablespoon of the drippings from the bacon, and I've got it over medium-ish heat. It's a little lower than medium. This eye heats up pretty good. Now, some of you all, sorry about that, some of you all find the idea of using bacon grease to be kind of distasteful. I have to say, in the South, especially in the Appalachian South, we save everything, every bit. And the traditional Appalachian diet was pretty lean, lots of veggies. And so when they had fat, they used it. Fat was expensive. So a lot of Southern recipes, Appalachian recipes, will use or specify that they want some sort of pork fat. And that's because every scrap of every food item was used to capture flavor or to capture calories. So we're just giving a nod to that with a tablespoon of our bacon drippings in there. And if you don't have bacon drippings or you don't like the idea of it, go ahead and use a little olive oil. It won't hurt anything. We're going to let this 1 onion and 2 small stalks of celery, we're going to let that just saute here for about 5 minutes until it's nice and fragrant. And I'm going to go peel some potatoes while that's happening. We have sauteed for, oh my goodness, just a few minutes, and probably about 5 minutes, because I just peeled these potatoes, and our bacon is crisped up, and so I pulled that off the heat and set it aside, because we're going to use that later. And right here I have a whole bunch of diced potatoes. It's about six-ish medium-sized potatoes. And these are going to come in our pot. Most of them are going to go in the pot, a few of them, apparently. I'm throwing on the stove. There. Now, to this, we are going to add 2 things. We're going to add some chicken broth. And I have about 2 cups. This is not homemade broth. This is box broth. Ricky has a tendency to make ramen, and there's always half a box of broth in the... He makes homemade ramen. We get him rice noodles and he makes his own. There's always half a box of broth ready to be used up in my refrigerator. So a couple of cups of chicken broth. And to this we're going to add just enough whole milk to cover it. So maybe a cup or 2 of milk, however much it takes for it to cover the potatoes, just like that. And we're going to bring this pot up to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer until our potatoes are tender, which will be about 15-20 minutes. We're right at, oh, I'd say 15 to 18 minutes. I actually got distracted. I tend to do that. And I added about 2 teaspoons of kosher salt right at the beginning. You want to make sure you get that in there at the beginning before the potatoes start to cook, because that way the potatoes will end up being seasoned all the way through. Now, if you want to, you can take some of this and run it through a blender and then pour it back in. That'll give you a thicker soup. Or you can take a potato masher and just mash down in there, stir that up. That will also make it thicker. I happen to like it just like this, because this is the way my mother made it, and I like thinking about my mother. Alright, this is ready, so I'm going to grab a bowl and show you how to put it together. I forgot a step. Of course I did. It's almost ready. This is the last thing we're going to do. We're going to take about a cup of sour cream. So we want this to taste like a loaded baked potato. And if you want to, even better, it just depends on the mood you're in, you can add a couple of tablespoons of butter to the pot and stir it in. It's really good. I've done that plenty of times. My mother used to make potato soup. It had so much butter in it, you could see it floating on the top. It was out of this freaking world. All right, now I'm going to show you how to put it together. Okay, so we have ladled it up. And because we are after a loaded baked potato type situation going on here, I have some extra sharp cheddar cheese that I grated. And here is our bacon. One more. And just to finish it, just like that. All right, let's see how we did. Take a little taste. Oh man. Yeah, that's perfect, just about right like it is. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching, and if you thought that video was helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. And if you have a second, hop on over to Patreon and check out how to support my channel even more. Again, thanks for watching.